And welcome to part two of RWB Sports, 36 Minutes to Victory. We're here with a rare occasion, talking to a father and son duo, Marshall Kauffman, the legendary Hall of Famer, promoter, trainer, and to the legendary Hall of Famer, fighter, his son, Travis My Time Kauffman. Thank you, guys. Thank you both for being on the show. Like I said, it's a very rare moment to catch you both at the same time. You know what I mean?
Thanks for having me.
Hey,
it's always a pleasure.
Well, I mean, I wish you was as good looking as your dad, because he always claims to be the good looking one.
He can claim it. Don't mean it's bad.
It all started with me.
It all started with him, but it don't finish with him.
What is that ends for you?
Yes, no, it don't end. It don't end with me. My kids look better than me. And their kids are going to look better than them.
Right.
We're supposed to get better and better and better.
You're supposed to, yes, sir. Man, Marshall was just sitting here talking about the difference in fighters between yesterday and today. Now, we went back as far back as when me and he used to fight back in that era. And so even you have a different era of when fighters used to fight opposed to now. What do you think of the fighters today and the training regimens that go on compared to when you used to fight?
So if I just compared my era compared to today's era,
right,
instead of even before, because I think each era gets weaker and weaker. No disrespect.
Right, understood.
I think the skills get better.
Right.
But the toughness gets weaker.
Correct.
I think if you look at history, not just, I'm talking about all sports.
Right.
That mental toughness gets weaker and weaker. Nobody likes to challenge themselves. And even in my era, there's some weakness, but I think it was truly because my father pushing me is what kept me tough.
Right.
I grew up in a very tough era in Reading. I mean, I was one of those knucklehead kids. I got jumped right out in front of the gym. I didn't go out. I didn't come in here to come and get help. I said, screw it. The hell with it. I'm gonna fight both of these kids. And I broke my hands right before the Golden Gloves. I remember that like yesterday. Keenan Collins always talks about it like yesterday. He's like, man, you're in front of the gym. Why you ain't coming and get us? I'm like, for what? I'm gonna handle my own.
Right.
I think if I don't want to talk bad about today's era because they got a lot of skills.
Right.
I think each generation the skills get better because technology gets better.
Correct.
I said the exact same thing.
The exact same thing.
Yeah. I think I truly believe that skills get better because technology gets better. The advance of technology, the skills get better. We learn today I'm a trainer now. I'm no longer a fighter. But I've learned from other trainers and I pick up my own things. And I'm a student of the game. So for me, I want to learn from other trainers. The day I stopped learning, I always said this when I was boxing. The day I stopped learning is the day I stopped fighting. My last fight, I don't want to learn no more, which is why I stopped fighting.
Right.
As a trainer, the day I stopped wanting to learn as a trainer is the day I'm going to stop training.
Right.
I want to continue to learn, which till today, I will say, I think, and I've worked with a lot of trainers, I think the best trainer, and I still love watching my dad. I think my dad is the best trainer in the world. I still have him. He'll come back in the gym and teach these kids, and I'm like, what the heck? I don't know how to figure how the heck do you do that?
Like we were just talking about that. Yeah, we were just talking about that.
It's crazy because he's great at correcting things. I'm not good at correcting things yet.
Right.
I'm great at taking a kid and teaching them the fundamentals. I'm great at teaching kids. The fundamentals. I'm great at teaching kids how to throw things correctly. But correcting something, I get so frustrated. Like I can't sit there and correct things because I think it's just a frustration to me.
Right.
My dad has a little more patience. He's been doing this a lot longer than me.
Right.
I don't know if I have patience, but
I'm new at it. But he's also had good teachers that taught him as well. I believe.
I think, as I said to Reggie earlier, you have to be, as a trainer, you have to be creative too, and you have to have an imagination, and you have to be, like for instance, I'll use this and I'll put it out there. There's one of my fighters that's hurt right now.
Right. And
his trainer said, "Oh, he's not going to be able to train properly because he can't run." Well, then you throw him in the pool.
Yeah.
Or you stand there and just do the heavy bag. You don't do the running then. No big deal. There's other ways. You have to be creative on how to create, how to get the best out of this fighter.
And that answers your question you asked me earlier. That's the difference.
Yes.
When I remember I had hand surgery. My dad still made me use my left hand.
We was talking about that. Yeah, we were still.
That's the
we just
difference.
talked about that. Yeah.
And I think that's the difference with today. Today, you got kids who get hurt and don't want to come into the gym at all. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say when I've got hurt, I didn't come into the gym at all, because there was times I didn't come into the gym.
Right.
But my dad up my ass made me come to the gym at times.
Right.
You know, now when I hurt my knee, I couldn't come to the gym because I can't walk.
Correct.
You know, when I had knee surgery, I
Right.
couldn't walk. But when I hurt my hand, when I had two hand surgeries, the hell with that. You got another hand. I had to learn to use my jab. And I think that's honestly what made my jab a little better.
Right. And he also told me that as a heavyweight, that you were a rare breed as a heavyweight because you could fight orthodox and southpaws just as evenly. Now, do you think that hurt hand had something to contribute to that because you had to flip or you had to use one hand more than the other until it healed?
I think that helped in the aspect of when I did hurt my hand. So my right hand was the one that I hurt.
Right.
When I hurt my hand, I remember that was the tournament I won. It was Azerbaijan versus USA duel. I fought the whole time southpaw. I didn't throw no hooks. Hook is my biggest punch, right, from the southpaw stance. But I didn't throw no hooks. I jabbed the whole time, cracking with my left hand. Now, I think I'm a bigger puncher from the southpaw stance, throwing my hook. But I made sure I didn't throw it. I made sure I established my jab because my dad told me something early, and I use this with kids today. Southpaws struggle fighting other southpaws.
Yes, we do.
And they also struggle against pressure fighters. Most southpaws, not all, most southpaws can't fight backing up.
Okay.
So I was always good at, I could pressure you, I could box you. My dad taught me so many different tools. I think he taught me too many tools.
Did I say that too?
We just talked
That's
about
something-
that.
That's
like,
something-
I'm sitting there talking to Marshall
Dad taught
again.
you how to use all these different weapons. but
Right.
you
I didn't know
don't
how to
use.
use just the one tool.
Right.
Because I had so many different weapons.
That's what we just talked
And
about.
it was a benefit, but it also hurt me, I truly think, because I get stuck. Nazim would say this all the time. Travis, you have so many tools, you have so many different guns. If somebody comes in to rob you, you're like, what gun do I pick? Do I pick my 22? Do I pick my knife? Do I pick my shotgun?
By that time, you're robbed.
By that time, I'm already robbed.
Yeah, you're done. You're done.
Yeah, so something I've learned, and I learned this from Nazim. I try to teach my kids a little bit of everything. Now, I got all brand new kids. I have about 15 kids I'm training.
Right.
So, of course, each kid's different. You can't teach all kids the same.
Right.
But I sit there and pick what kid is really good at something, and I want him to master what he's good at. And of course, something my dad taught me, and hopefully I get a kid that goes to the international level, because most international kids are southpaw.
Right.
I want them to learn southpaw, because if I'm orthodox and I hurt my right hand, screw that, switch up southpaw and crack with your left hand.
Right.
So it's always good to have those different tools. Having too many weapons, I think could hurt you a little bit. Now,
I think so.
Did it hurt me? Yes and no. It hurt me because of me.
Right.
Not because of him showing me. It hurt me because of the lack of disbelief that I had in myself.
Right. Okay.
That's why it hurt me.
Right.
Because I was like, if I could sit back, and I've been retired now almost 6 years. If I could be honest with myself, I would sit there and say, it hurt me because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't truly start believing in myself until Nazim got in my corner. Nazim truly, and nothing against Nazim, I think Nazim was the best thing about Nazim, he truly made me believe in myself.
Okay.
My dad told me everything I know. My dad was the best. My dad, until today, I worked with a lot of trainers. I worked with my father. I worked with Al Cole. I worked with Buddy McGirt. I worked with Eddie Mustafa Muhammad. Who else did I work with? That was it, right? Al Cole and then Nazim Richardson.
And Al Mitchell.
And Al Mitchell. Out of all those guys, my dad is the best trainer.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Right.
In my opinion. That's my opinion. And I think he would have got Hall of Fame credit as a trainer had he stuck to training. Right. He lost his passion for training. I truly, nothing against Kermit Cintron, but I think it's because of getting attached to people and then, bullshit happening. Right. And not just Kermit, Hassan Rahman and all of that.
Yeah.
So I want to just pinpoint Kermit out because it wasn't just Kermit.
Right.
So if I could sit here and I truly believe, as far as a trainer, my dad was the best.
Right.
My dad's only problem as a trainer, in my opinion, my dad didn't know how to let off the gas. One thing Nazim taught me is rest is more important than always going balls to the wall.
Right.
I remember when I fought Chris Ariola, my dad was always one of those guys, balls to the wall, work your ass off. When I got with Nazim, it was kind of hard for me to rest because I was so used to going balls to the wall.
Right.
We trained for a 10-round fight. The day before we get a phone call from Al Hammond, hey, they want to make it a 12-round fight. Screw it, let's make it a 12-round fight. Give me an extra $150,000.
Right.
They did it. 12 rounds was no problem. I never won 12 rounds in my life. But
you were conditioned for it.
But I was conditioned for it. You know why? Because I worked hard. No doubt about it. I worked hard, but I got to rest. I was able to rest. Nothing against my dad.
Right.
Skill-wise, my dad taught me the best skills in the world. Nobody. Nazim would have never taught me that.
Can't top it. Yeah.
Buddy McGirt, nothing against him.
Right.
But Buddy McGirt could have never taught me that. Eddie Mustafa Muhammad could have never taught me that. Al Mitchell could have never taught me that. But my dad taught me my skills. Nazim taught me to believe in myself and taught me rest is very important.
Right.
So I'm also big on teaching these kids to rest.
Right. And you have to. And that's one of the things that me and your dad talked about too is the difference in the fighters today as far as, when to step away as a parent, as a trainer, and when to, because he even said it. He said it was one of the hardest things he's ever done in his life was to step away after he's done, walked you through 20 or so fights. Then he has to relinquish you to someone else because he knew it was time because of the relationship that you all had. He said that you listened to Muhammad when he'd say,
You mean Azim?
Yeah, Azim, when he would say, that's it for the day, you'd be like, no, I got 2 more rounds. And then when your dad say you would got 2 more rounds, he'd be like, what you trying to do, kill me? You know what I mean? So it's understandable. And one of the things we were talking about is when do you, realize that? When do you realize it's time to walk away? Because we have so many parents now training their fighters, and I think it's hurting them more than
for me and my dad. It was I always wanted a relationship, so which is why I started boxing. I wanted a relationship with my dad.
Right.
Because my dad was a single father. My mom was never around.
Right.
So I started.
I want a relationship with him. That's why I want him to train every day.
Right.
So for me, it was more so because
You're good. Keep talking.
I craved my dad's attention. So as a teenager, I got in trouble. Getting locked up in juvenile detention.
So it ain't so.
So I got his attention, just not the attention I wanted. My first real amateur fight, the first amateur fight was against my brother, which was BS. I didn't even like boxing.
Right.
My first real amateur fight, I remember going to Reading High School and I got jumped by a group of kids. And my dad found out this one kid was boxing and we're the same weight class. He said, do you want to fight him? And me being a street kid, I want to get every kid back one by one.
Get your get back. Right.
So I was like, hell yeah. I'm smoking serious at the time. I might have trained 3 weeks. I beat him and I see how my dad was. I was like, maybe I can do this. Now, did I take it serious? Not at all. But I got the attention I wanted.
Right.
I was still a knucklehead kid getting in trouble. And
but you knew
so
that
was the relationship I wanted.
Yeah.
When I knew I had to walk away, there was, if you look at Floyd and his father, arguments, there was a lot of that over here. I'm not going to get into detail what me and my dad's been through because it's been brutal.
No. Right.
But I can truly say me having my dad step away and bringing someone, because we wanted that early in my career. I think 2009 we first wanted that. 2008, 2009. Nazim was like, nah, I can't do that.
They can't get in between.
Exactly, I can't do that. Because Nazim knew that nobody could teach me the way my dad could teach me.
Right.
He truly knew that.
Right.
And he's like, nah, I can't do that. But then when my dad had the heart issue, my dad left Nazim no choice. He's like, man, fuck you. Like, you leave me no choice. Like, all right, I got to do it now.
Right.
So everything happened for the way it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful that happened because there was incidents. I remember I fought this guy, Dan Wetzel. I remember I had a hurt hand. I fought Dan Wetzel in Maryland. Glen Burnie, Maryland, who I should have knocked out.
Right.
This guy's been knocked out a bunch of times, but I had a hurt hand. I hit with a right hand, my hand just gave out of me. I can't throw my right hand no more. Yeah. Me and my dad's arguing in the corner. So mentally that messes with me as a fighter.
Yes.
Now, if my coach is yelling at me, that's one thing. But my father yelling at me, because now not only do I have to deal with him as my coach, when I leave, I got to deal with him too.
Gotta go home with him.
So I couldn't focus in that fight. Now, I won the fight. My first 8-rounder, I think it was. I won the fight, but it truly messed with me. And at that point, I knew I wanted something different. I knew I wanted a different coach in my corner, but I never wanted my dad to step away.
Right.
I always wanted him in my corner, but I wanted a different head lead.
Yeah, you want a different lead.
But I always wanted him to train me. I always wanted him to be the head man, because at the end of the day, can't nobody teach me what my dad taught me.
Right.
So Nazim stepping in truly made our relationship better.
It gave you focus.
It gave me. Let me. The last 5 years of my career, I truly believe, helped me elevate. Now, I wish I would have got it earlier in my career, because I think I would have been at a different level.
Right.
But everything happens for a reason. God has a plan for whatever reason it is.
No, your dad actually took you as an amateur to number one
in the country.
In the country. You know, the only number one from Reading, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Now I think there was.
Not on the.
I think there was from 17 to.
Not on the national level.
There's never been on a national level. I'm the only one on a national and international level.
There's no one on the.
There's no one
in the adult.
On the adults, 17.
All these guys out, 15-time national champ. Hey, you're 8 years old.
Exactly. Yeah. But on the open class level.
Open class.
There's nobody.
And now, but that record will never be broken, because that was 17 to 34 years old.
Right.
They don't have that no more. Now it's 17 to 19, 19 to 21, or
correct.
Now they break the brackets up now,
right.
Which I think is good.
Yeah.
But it makes you a little softer.
This whole
because especially in the heavyweight division, because you don't get your man strength until you're in your late 20s. Exactly. I remember me when I started getting my man strength, when I started cracking, because my dad used to joke with me all the time, like, Trav, you don't hit that hard. I used to get so mad. Fuck, like, what?
To bring a chef to cook, to break an egg.
Yeah, like, cause I was more of a speed. I was a volume puncher.
Right.
But I remember I started being able to hit people and hurt people when I was probably about 27, 28. Okay. That's when I started getting my man strength. Now, I'm not going to say as a teen I didn't hurt people, because I did.
Right.
But it was about placement. But to be able to crack people and hurt them was truly when I was in my late 20s.
Okay.
So I think the difference with the amateurs is 17 to 34. So that record will never be broken, ever, in history. Unless they go back to maybe 17 to 34. So coming from Reading, that record would never be broken. Will there be another number one ranked in the country again, in the national level? Maybe, and I hope there is.
Right.
I hope there is.
Right. Maybe
I hope there's. I hope
you're one of your kids back. Maybe you'll train one.
I hope so. But if not, somebody from Reading, I hope.
Right.
It ain't just about me. I just hope somebody from Reading.
It's the legacy of the place. Yeah. Legacy of the borough. You know.
See, a lot of people in the city think that when I talk about it, I'm hating. I have a right to brag.
Right.
I have a right to brag.
You've done something nobody else done.
But it ain't just shit.
Right.
It's saying. Every time I say it, I want someone else to surpass what I've done.
Right.
I truly do.
Right.
But I had those accomplishments. People are always number one, but you weren't number one in the open class level.
Right. Number one, but
they were 14 years old.
Right. Exactly. You
have
don't
get me wrong.
That's
a great accomplishment for a young kid. Right. But when you really get the true test of how good you are, is when you're fighting in the open division.
When you're fighting grown men, you're 17, 18 years old, and you're fighting guys from the military that's 24 and 27 years old,
or 30.
and you're in 30, and you're beating them. That's telling you right there that you developed into something totally different. You know what I mean? So,
where in the 14-year-old brackets or 15, you're just fighting other 14-year-olds. You know what I mean? It's different.
Right.
You're not 17 fighting 26-year-olds.
Exactly.
And that's the difference.
Yeah, big difference. So let me ask you this, and then we'll close out, because I know you got to get back there to your kids. You're sitting here and you're talking to the kids back there, and you're telling them, what you've done and how you got there. What do you tell them to get them motivated to want to follow in my time's footsteps?
I don't want them to follow my footsteps, that's for sure.
Right.
I want them to follow their own footsteps.
Right.
Because I made a lot of bad choices.
Okay.
I was just very skilled that got me to a different level. Okay. Not many people would make the mistakes I made and still make it as far as I did.
Right. Because they don't have a skill set.
So I don't want people to follow my footsteps at all.
Okay.
like I'm big on. I refuse to train people who aren't disciplined.
Right.
And the reality is, I wasn't disciplined.
Right.
Not all the time. Getting ready for fights, I was 100% disciplined.
Right.
In between fights, I was not disciplined. And I refuse to train people like that.
Right.
I ask kids, like, I don't know, kids, they make mistakes, and I tell kids, like, you smoke weed. Be honest with them.
Right.
And if they say, yeah, okay, look, but you got to stop. And I'm always big on, it's not just about building a champion inside the ring. I want to build a champion in life. Because if I could change your life, because it's very hard. It's very hard for anyone to make it to where I made it in boxing.
Right.
There's very few. Very, very few. But if I could change your life somehow, some way, where you say, when you come back to me 10 years from now you're a cop or you're something, and you say, it's because of you, that you've done something for me, that I changed my life, that means everything to me.
Correct.
It's not fuck boxing.
It goes beyond
Boxing is just what I know.
Right.
But I know about life as well.
Right.
So if I could teach you something, that means more to me than boxing.
Yeah. It's about life.
Life is more important than, if you make a change in life, that means more to me than you ever becoming anything in boxing. Because boxing is a very short-lived career.
Yeah.
What happens after boxing?
Yeah.
You know,
And that's what makes the difference between champions and fighters. And everybody asks all the time, it's like, you know, why do you choose Muhammad Ali over everybody else? It's because what he did outside the ring than what he did inside the ring. It's what he stood for outside the ring opposed to what he did inside.
He was one to lose it all, or did lose it all,
right.
for what he stood up for.
Yeah, for what he stood up for. And
whether you agree with him or not
on
what he stood up for, he still stood up for what he believed.
Yeah. And people are like, well, you don't think Floyd Mayweather? Yes, Floyd Mayweather was a great fighter.
Floyd Mayweather is the best fighter ever.
The best
but
fighter
he's
ever.
not. He's not the greatest of all time of what he stood up for.
Yeah. Yes. Well, gentlemen, once again, I want to say thank you. It just so happened that you walked in as we were
Perfect timing.